They are classified or a part of the reptilian family. This includes lizards, snakes, and crocodiles. Basically just animals with scales. They first appeared 245 million years ago. An asteroid hit the Earth an estimated 65 million years ago, ending the age of the dinosaurs as well as the Mesozoic era, which I will teach you guys about later. Does anybody know how we know about dinosaurs? You can raise your hand if you know the answer. How do I okay. I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's names. Sahil.
About fossils from fossils?
That's right. So, how do we know about dinosaurs? We know about dinosaurs from fossils found in different parts of the world. Fossils are remains or traces of animals that have been left behind and preserved in sediment. Fossils give us some information, but they don't give us all the answers. Experts have made assumptions based on the knowledge we know and the fossils we discover. Paleontology is the study of ancient life and fossils. Paleontologists are people who study paleontology. Paleontology can branch out to different sections. You can study ancient life of fish, which is called paleoichthyology, plants, paleobotany, footprints, paleoichnology, and of course, dinosaurs, which is paleontology.
Question.
Pangea. Pangea was a large supercontinent where all the land on Earth was one large landmass. A supercontinent is when all land masses come together to create a super large one. Pangea slowly broke up during the time of the dinosaurs. This is why you can find dinosaur fossils in Antarctica and blazing hot deserts. During Pangea, the modern-day deserts were vast oceans, and the cold Arctic areas were tropical forests. This is Pangea. As you can see, most of the Earth was just ocean, and then all the land on our Earth was one giant mass. The geologic timescale. Did you know that the Earth is actually 4.5 billion years old? Scientists break up that time into intervals or different periods of time. They end and start new periods of time after mass events such as extinctions, like the dinosaurs went through. From largest to smallest, the intervals are eons, eras, periods, and epochs. The dinosaurs lived during the Mesozoic era. The Mesozoic era is broken up into three periods: the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. As you can see on the right, this is the Mesozoic era. So the first was Triassic, and then in the middle was Jurassic, and then Cretaceous, and it ended in a big extinction. And us humans are at the top here. The Triassic period. The Triassic period was 252 to 201 million years ago. As you see, I typed MYA. That stands for million years ago, and that's how paleontologists say it. The Triassic period was the first part of the Mesozoic era. There were reptiles, amphibians, early dinosaurs, and reptile-like mammals. The earliest known dinosaurs dated to the middle to late Triassic. This includes Herrerasaurus, Compsognathus, Styracosaurus, and Niasaurus. Did you know that Niasaurus is the oldest discovered dinosaur in the world? Nobody knows how the Triassic-Jurassic extinction happened or how the Triassic ended. but it affected every animal but dinosaurs, crocodilomorphs, and pterosaurs. Crocodilomorphs are like crocodile-like reptiles from today, and pterosaurs, some of you may know as pteranodons and pterodactyls, which are flying reptiles. Can anybody tell me what the dinosaurs on the right are? You can raise your hands for this. Rangika, I think. Sorry.
Now you can talk.
Well, the dinosaurs on the right, so those are Compsognathus, and this one over here is an Eoraptor, I think, and I don't know what that big one over here is, big, but I know this one over here, it's called Poserius.
You're pretty good. Those are all right. As you can see, the top photo has Compsognathus and Niasaurus, which is the oldest discovered dinosaur. And at the bottom, I'm being honest, I'm not exactly sure what a lot of them are. I do know that the bottom one may be an Eoraptor, and in the back of the photo, you can see the first reptile-like mammals. The Jurassic period. Some of you may be more familiar with this because of the movies Jurassic Park. The Jurassic period was 201.3 to 145 million years ago. It was the middle period of the Mesozoic era. There were flying reptiles, trees, wood, and early plants and flowers. We also saw the first bird-like animals appear. Dinosaurs started to become the dominant creatures on the planet. They're known as the Age of Reptiles. Dinosaurs from the Jurassic included Allosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Dilophosaurus, and Cryolophosaurus. If you know Jurassic Park, you know that there's a huge T-Rex. But a fun fact is a T-Rex was actually in the Cretaceous, not the Jurassic. Can anybody tell me the dinosaurs on the photo here? You can raise your hands again. I apologize again if I say anybody's name wrong. So Miyasri.
Allosaurus
That would be right.
and Archaeopteryx and Stegosaurus and Apatosaurus.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice job.
Thanks.
So they're right. There's an Allosaurus, an Archaeopteryx, a Stegosaurus, and an Apatosaurus, and what looks like some early kind of raptor. The Cretaceous period, many of you know this one. It spanned from 145 to 66 million years ago. It was the last and longest period of the Mesozoic era. There were more flying reptiles, plants and flowers, and mammals. Dinosaurs thrived. Dinosaurs in the Cretaceous include T-Rex, Velociraptor, Spinosaurus, and Stegosaurus. It ended in one of the most famous and largest mass extinctions ever recorded. I will call on someone who's raising their hand so they can tell me the dinosaurs in this photo too. Minuli?
So there's the T-Rex and That's crop. Nice
Nice job. There is a T-Rex. Do you know any others? It's okay if you don't.
Is the crocodile-like one in the water? Is that a Brachiosaurus?
I think
Am
it's
I
a
saying it right?
You were saying it right. It's close, but I think it's a Sarcosuchus. But it is kind of confusing. Nice job, though. Oops. Okay. On to the next photo and the extinction. The Cretaceous Tertiary extinction is the most famous extinction to present day. An extinction is a mass event in which almost life is killed. The Cretaceous Tertiary extinction is what we call the extinction of the dinosaurs. An asteroid hit the Earth 66 million years ago and landed in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Mexico is kind of like right under the United States, which is where I live. It's in North America. The impact is called the Chicxulub crater, and you can actually visit it today. A crater is a circular pit created by the impact of a meteorite or other object. Scientists believe the asteroid is the main cause of the extinction, but there are many theories as to how the extinction occurred. The dinosaurs' extinction killed off almost 97% of life on Earth. Can anybody tell me the dinosaurs in the top photo on the right? Geraldine de Silva?
Is dinosaur bones buried underground in Egypt?
Well, you can find dinosaurs there. Yeah, I'll actually talk about that later. Here you can see a T-Rex and many brachiosauruses in the water. Here is a dinosaur timeline. So you can see the Triassic with the first dinosaurs, the Jurassic with big dinosaurs and the first birds, and the Cretaceous called the zenith of dinosaurs because they roamed the earth and were the dominant predators on the planet. And it ended in a mass extinction. And you can also see us in the present called the Cenozoic era. How are dinosaurs named? Does anybody know? Anya? Oh.
Just keep going.
Okay, dinosaurs are named by two words. The first part is what we use, which is the scientific name. An example is Triceratops. Its actual name is Triceratops horridus. Dinosaurs are named after the place they were discovered, the person who found them, or using roots in Latin and Greek. For example, Triceratops horridus. In Latin, tri means three, cera means horn, and tops means face. This translates to three-horned face. Horridus is a way to tell the difference between the two species of Triceratops. Triceratops horridus, and Triceratops prorsus. If you would like to raise your hand, I'll call on anybody who thinks that they can spot the difference between these two dinosaurs in the corner here. Maisha?
The horn on the the horn on the picture of the right of the is curved and the one on the left is straight.
Yeah, nice job. That's exactly it. So the horn on the Triceratops horridus is straight and the one on the right is curved. You got it. The first dinosaur was discovered in England in 1676. Some of you may be familiar with it. It's called Megalosaurus bucklandi, after William Buckland, the person who studied it for 7 years before concluding it was an extinct lizard. Megalosaurus means great lizard in Greek. Megalosaurus is lizard-hipped, which means it belongs in the order Sauristria, which I will explain to you in the next slide. On the right, you can see Megalosaurus next to a piece of artwork of William Buckland. There are two orders, Sauristria and Ornithistria. Sauristria means lizard-hipped. Within Sauristria, there are theropods and sauropods. Theropods can be Tyrannosaurus, and sauropods can be Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, and Diplodocus. In the photo below, you can actually see a few birds. That's because theropods evolved into birds. Can anybody tell me any dinosaur from the bottom photo? I'll call on anyone who raises their hand again. Kiran?
The Therizinosaurus.
That is actually there, yeah, I see it. Can anybody else tell me any more? Rangika?
Yeah.
I can see a Brachiosaurus and an Argentinosaurus and a Spinosaurus.
Nice job. Geraldine?
Is there volcanoes in the past in a dinosaur life?
There were, yeah. The volcanoes are actually what may have caused the extinction. I'll go on to the next slides and ask you guys a couple more questions. Theropods. Theropods are bipedal dinosaurs, often carnivorous, but they don't have to be. Bipedal means to stand on two legs, and we are humans, which means we are also bipedal. Carnivorous means to be a carnivore or to only eat meat. Theropods have hollow bones and three-toed feet. They include Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptor, Therizinosaurus, Gallimimus, and Spinosaurus. Can anyone tell me the dinosaurs in the photo below? Dushan?
A velociraptor, T-Rex, and a bird.
Yep. Here, let's call on one more person to see if they can tell me any others. Methuka?
There's an Allosaurus.
Close. It's actually called a Carnotaurus. They do look similar though. They both have little things on their head. Nice job, everyone. Now we'll talk about sauropods. Sauropods are large, long-necked dinosaurs with long tails, small heads, and 4 big legs. They were the biggest animals to ever live on land. Sauropods include Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, Brontosaurus, Diplodocus, and Camarasaurus. Did you know that Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus used to be the same dinosaur? But then we found evidence that Brontosaurus was actually a different dinosaur. Can anybody tell me any dinosaur on the photo in the photo here? Cethula?
Okay. Well, I can see the Amagasaurus in the last line, the down one. I can see an Amagasaurus.
Yep, that's right. Let's move on. Ornithischia. Ornithischia is the second order in which dinosaurs are broken up into. It means bird-hipped. There are 4 families within it: Ankylosaurs, Ceratopsians, Stegosaurs, and Hadrosaurs. Before I move on, does anybody have any questions? Okay, I'll call on you guys one by one. Rangika?
Well, I can see
She wants to know if you have any questions.
well, will we see any mammals? Because after the dinosaurs there were like mammals like woolly mammoths, woolly rhinos, and Parasauritherium.
So unfortunately, I didn't put many mammals into my presentation, but you are correct. After the dinosaurs, we had tons of mammals, which some of them went extinct, but we still have a ton of them in our world today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gabriel?
T-Rex a lizard?
They are. All dinosaurs are considered lizards, just giant extinct ones. Anya?
Is an ankylosaurus a lizard?
It is. They're all giant, scaly, or feathered reptiles. Minuli?
Then who was the first archaeologist to find a dinosaur bone?
That would be William Buckland. He was an English geologist and paleontologist who found the megalosaurus.
So what about Anna Jones?
I'm not actually familiar with that person. I will look into it though. There are actually theories that Benjamin Franklin, do you guys know who he is? He flew a kite in a thunderstorm to test out electricity. Some people think that Benjamin Franklin actually had the first dinosaur bone, but didn't know what it was. That was back in the 16 to 1700s, so about 300 years ago. Maisha?
What's the difference between a megalosaurus and a T-Rex?
So a T-Rex was bigger and a Megalosaurus was small. They also have different skeletal features, such as the Megalosaurus has 2 little crest-like things on its head, but very tiny. I will pause the questions for now, but I will have a Q&A or question and answer session when we finish the presentation. These are really good questions, everyone. So, who's ready to learn about ankylosaurs? Ankylosaurs are osteoderm armored dinosaurs, often quadrupedal. I know these are big words, but I'll explain them in a sec. Quadrupedal means to stand on 4 legs. Osteoderms are little scutes, or very hard plates or scales that act as armor when put together. Ankylosaurs include Ankylosaurus, Edmontonia, Gastonia, and Crichton pelta. Can anybody tell me what any of the dinosaurs here are in the photo? Sahil?
Ankylosaurus and Euplocephalus.
Yep, that's right. They are, one of them is Euplocephalus, and the other may actually, yeah, be Ankylosaurus. Anybody have any other ideas? Navika?
I think the first one would be Ankylosaurus, and the second one would be Sauropelta, and my sister would like to answer the other 3. He can answer.
Edmontonia. The one under the first one is Edmontonia. And the one under the second one with the green body is Castonia. And the one in the middle is Crichton pelta.
You guys are really good at this. Wow. Those are all correct. Yeah. Nice job. Ceratopsians. Ceratopsians are horned, beaked herbivores, often with a frill of sorts on their head. Though there are ancestors or ceratopsians that lived in earlier periods, most ceratopsians lived in the Cretaceous period, which was the last and longest period of the Mesozoic era. Ceratopsians include the Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus, Pentaceratops, Pachyrhinosaurus, Serendipiceratops, and Einiosaurus. To be honest, I don't actually know some of the ones in this photo, but you guys can try it out. I'll call on you guys and see if you can guess them, or you probably even know them. You guys are really good at this. Lo Shen?
So the first one might be the Triceratops, which is on the top. The second one might be a Pachyrhinosaurus, and I think the third one might be a Styracosaurus. The fourth one might be a Ceredipiceraptor, and the other one is a Einiosaurus.
You guys are actually pretty good. You're really close. The last one is actually a Pachyrhinosaurus, and I think this red one below the first one might be a Styracosaurus, but that's all I know. Stegosaurs. Stegosaurs are plated, beaked herbivores with thagomizers. Thagomizers are the pairs of spikes on the tail of a stegosaur. Scientists aren't sure what the plates are used for, but we think probably thermal regulation or display in mating. Can anybody tell me what thermal regulation means? Shuaib?
Stegosaurus.
Close.
This is
There is a
Stegosaurus.
Yeah, so thermal regulation is how you change your body temperature so that you're not burning or dying of heat because the outside temperature is really hot. So you adjust your body to be cool while the outside temperature is very hot. Stegosaurs include all species of Stegosaurus, Kentrosaurus, and Loricatosaurus. I don't know many of the ones in this photo, but you guys probably do. So she is right. There is a Stegosaurus here. Can anybody name any others? So Miyasri?
I will talk in Tamil.
That's okay. Jadon and Johan?
The one before the last one is a Wuhosaurus.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody actually gets that one, so nice job, everyone. You guys are super good at this. I'll move on to the next slide and I'll ask you guys more questions. Hadrosaurs. Hadrosaurs are duck-billed dinosaurs, often with some sort of crest. If you can see the photo, you can see that all of them have some sort of mouth that looks kind of like a duck. Scientists don't know what they used their crest for, but we think they made loud sounds to tell the herd if there was danger. This includes Hadrosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Corinthosaurus, Centausaurus, and Jaxartosaurus. Now I'm going to tell you about my favorite dinosaur, which is called a Spinosaurus. And most of you may have heard of it. It is quite a popular dinosaur. It is the biggest theropod to ever be discovered, and we believe it is the only semi-aquatic dinosaur. Semi-aquatic means to live on both land and in the water. Spinosaurus has foramen like modern-day crocodiles. Foramen are small sensors on the snout that can help sense fish underwater. Spinosaurus is one of the only dinosaurs to ever be discovered in Egypt. It was part of something called Stromer's riddle, which was how could one environment sustain three large apex predators? An apex predator are animals at the top of the food chain. The three dinosaurs that lived with Spinosaurus were Bahariosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, and, of course, Spinosaurus. We concluded that two of them ate meat, while Spinosaurus ate fish, which is why we think it's semi-aquatic. Evolution. Dinosaurs, specifically theropods, evolved into birds. The Tyrannosaurus rex's closest relative is the chicken. Archaeopteryx is the feathered dinosaur that sparked the theory of dino-bird evolution. Theropods and birds share many features, including feathers and a wishbone. And also, can you think of any animal that has three-toed feet like birds and dinosaurs do? Personally, I can't think of any, but I'd love to hear if you guys can think of any. Gabriel?
Why do dinosaurs have small hands and it's very long legs?
Personally, I don't actually know the answer, but I do know that scientists released an article about it a couple of weeks ago as to why T-Rex has such tiny arms. They had very large legs because, like birds, they both shared strong legs so they could run quickly to catch prey. Did you know that dinosaurs also have hollow bones and unique breathing systems? Birds and dinosaurs are the only animals to have the same ventilation or breathing system. This is a photo of their evolution. As you can see, there's an early reptile, an early archosaur, which is like a reptilian crocodile-like dinosaur, an early dinosaur, a raptor, an Archaeopteryx, and a chicken. At the bottom, you'll see the hands and the thumb highlighted to show how they changed over time. Now I will tell you about Serendipiceratops. Serendipiceratops is a ceratopsian discovered in Australia. The full name is Serendipiceratops Arthur C. Clarke, and Arthur C. Clarke was a famous English writer who lived and died in Sri Lanka. Serendipiceratops means serendipitous horned face, and it comes from the word serendipity, which is actually of Sri Lankan origin. Though we don't find dinosaur fossils in Sri Lanka, we still have a connection to them. And I advise that those of you who come from Australia and live in Australia who are tuning into the Zoom call, you should look into this dinosaur. Maybe you'll find one day. Before I end the presentation, I just thought you guys could check out some really cool dinosaur websites if you'd like to learn more about them. So we have the Natural History Museum in London, the Jurassic Park Wiki, National Geographic is really good. American Museum of Natural History is actually in New York. There's News Dinosaurs, Dinosaurs Facts, and Ducksters. These are all pretty good websites if you guys want to search up anything dinosaur related. And thank you very much for coming to this Zoom call to learn about dinosaurs with me. I'll now be taking questions if any of you have any. Anya?
Is that a dinosaur like a bird?
There are many dinosaurs that actually look like birds, like the Archaeopteryx, the Microraptor, and the Oviraptor. They're all feathered, and we definitely know that. And they all look kind of like giant prehistoric birds. Rangita?
Hold on.
Well, it's not a question, but it's a fact I'm telling you. Well, so dinosaurs need hollow bones so they can run away quickly from enemies like T-Rex, so they don't get eaten and don't survive.
You're actually quite right. We think that dinosaurs couldn't fly because they are too heavy, but it's also a connection to birds because they both have hollow bones, and birds have hollow bones that help them fly. But you're right, they also have hollow bones so they can easily run away from predators.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I think I have a couple of questions too. So I want to know why you are interested in paleontology. Why did you select this pathway?
From a young standpoint, I've actually loved dinosaurs since I was like a kid, like the age of 4. I just find it really interesting that we have these creatures that have lived before us and then went extinct, and now they aren't here anymore living with us. I just found it so cool. And I also just kind of like how they look.
They are pretty cool, yes. So the other question is, so I think most of our children today who joined for this session are really, really interested in paleontology. So any messages you wanted to give them?
If you guys want to become anything with paleontology related stuff in the future, I think it would be really good if you could visit museums, learn as much as you can about dinosaurs, and follow your passion. I think you can also tell your friends about dinosaurs. It would help spread knowledge. And it would be really good if you could visit museums and when you're older, maybe even volunteer at them. You can even go fossil hunting with your parents if you really want.
Thank you so much, Kiran. I think we will take another 3 to 4 questions from the children. Yeah?
Melissa?
Is a Stegosaurus a lizard?
It is. All dinosaurs are considered lizards, whether it's a Tyrannosaurus, a Stegosaurus, an Ankylosaurus, or even a Brachiosaurus.
Thank you.
Yep. Raneth and Jai?
Hello. Sorry, there was some network connection gone wrong. I'm Ranek. I have a question.
Go ahead.
The chicken so close to the T-Rex.
Sorry, what?
Why is the chicken so close to the T-Rex?
So we think that the T-Rex kind of kept the same bone structure. So they both have hollow bones, a wishbone, which is kind of like around their neck, and they also both had feathers. So we think that what happened is they really just evolved or changed over long periods of time and kind of shrunk into a chicken.
Okay, thank you. My brother also has a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the smallest dinosaur?
I'm not 100% sure because we discover new dinosaurs almost every single week. I think it's either the Micropachycephalosaurus, the Microraptor, or the Compsognathus.
Thank you.
Lisa?
What is the last dinosaur that lived?
That flew? Or it lived? The last dinosaur that lived, we aren't sure, but we think Troodon. It's like a feathered small raptor. It's maybe related to raptors, but it's not really a raptor itself.
All
if
right.
you guys want, you can.
So sorry, Kiran. We will take 2 more questions.
Mumudi?
Would you like to find the dinosaur fossil?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Would you like to find a dinosaur fossil?
You can find dinosaurs for sale.
The dinosaur fossil.
Yeah, the dinosaur fossil. You can find dinosaur fossils for sale, but they are really expensive. You can go fossil hunting yourself and find them, but if you want to buy one, it's very expensive.
Sorry to disturb you, Kiran. I think she's wondering whether you would like to find a dinosaur fossil someday.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I would love to find a dinosaur fossil someday. That would be really cool. We'll take one last question.
Yes, kids, if you have questions, please, you can either send it to the chat box or you can raise your hand.
Legend Danish.
Teacher, it's not actually a question. I think there are some dinosaurs on the earth, like I have seen on the Google and YouTube that the cassowaries are like dinosaurs.
Could be, maybe.
Yeah. And teacher, crocodiles dinosaurs, because in a very long time ago in the dinosaurs era, there were like crocodiles.
So crocodiles may be descended, or they may be descended from dinosaurs, but they aren't technically dinosaurs. They're more like just crocodiles, because crocodiles kind of coexisted or lived with the dinosaurs, but they aren't necessarily dinosaurs themselves.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
I see some questions in the chat that I will look at. Dinosaur bones are found underground, but some of them may be exposed. Why did T-Rex have tiny arms? As I said before, I don't personally know, but we did do a study on it about 1 or 2 weeks ago, so I can look into it. We don't really think they really use them much. If they did, it clearly wasn't for any long distance things. They can't reach out like we can, or like raise our hands. Is it true that dinosaurs actually had feathers and looked different from what we see in movies and stuff? It is true. So some movies like Jurassic Park, the old Jurassic Park had a scaled T-Rex, while we think that now dinosaurs were feathered. Some of them may had scales, like the herbivores like Triceratops and Brachiosaurus, but we think that the carnivores may have had feathers. So instead of being a giant scaly monster, T-Rex could have been a really fluffy, just a really fluffy dinosaur. Is every feathered dinosaur a reptile? Yes. So even if dinosaurs had feathers, that doesn't make a difference on whether or not they were reptiles. So no matter what, all dinosaurs would be reptiles. Did Giganotosaurus and T-Rex fight? I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't think they lived in the same exact time period. So like, if you guys have seen, sometimes people are like, who's gonna win, a T-Rex or a Spinosaurus? That wouldn't actually be possible because they don't live in the same time period. So like some may live in, like we said before, Triassic or Jurassic, while the other could live in Cretaceous. So it may have been possible, though I doubt it.
Excuse me, Kiran, I think there's Gabriel here asking whether he or she can ask their question. You can go ahead. And that will be our final question for the day.
Okay.
Gabriel?
Gabriel, you muted yourself.
is dinosaurs. They are very big lizards that live in the past, in years ago. So I am the one who's living in Sri Lanka, and many people does live in Sri Lanka because all dinosaurs live, and sometimes they die in some other countries. So it's a very big pleasure to know all about those dinosaurs who lived in the past. So it's a big pleasure. Thank you very much for teaching us all for all dinosaurs. I can also come to New York one day.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. It was a really nice experience to talk to you guys and tell you about dinosaurs, and I thank you a lot for coming.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much, Kiran. Thank you for answering all the questions and sharing your insight about the dinosaur world. I think everybody enjoyed taking this tiny trip into the Jurassic world. One more thing, we would like to invite you all to switch on your video so we can click some pictures. Can everyone give us a thumbs up or some sort of a reaction?
And say a big thank you.
Yes. Let's say thank to Kiran for sharing her knowledge with you guys. Hope you all had a nice time today, learned something about dinosaurs, and hope you all got answers to your questions. I know you have more questions. Please send them through the chat, or you can actually WhatsApp those questions to our hotline. And we will direct those questions to Kiran and get the answers back. So I hope you all enjoyed today. Thank you so much for joining in with the Wild Kids into the Jurassic world. And also, Kiran, thank you so much for spending your time and sharing your experiences, your knowledge about dinosaurs, and your interest in paleontology. And also, thank you, thanks to our donors, Ceylon Tikiri, for sponsoring Wild Kids event. And next up, we will be having more sessions like this in the coming months. So kids, stay tuned and follow our social media so you can get involved with a lot of programs like this in future. So thank you so much again, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye.